I've been dreading filming this video because I feel like once it's live, it's real. And I don't want it to be real. I'm gonna try my hardest not to cry a lot. But I think it's been apparent that this year has been really hard for me for a lot of reasons. Gone through a lot of health issues, gone through a lot of difficulties with dealing with sharing life online, and I've alluded to some personal things going on as well. And I'm really heartbroken to share this because I never thought I would be here. But I think it's time because I've gotten a lot of comments and questions, and I know people are putting things together. And I don't know if I'm necessarily ready to share, but I want it to be coming from me and not just coming from people's guesses. And Brooke and I are moving forward with a divorce, which I never thought I'd say. There's just been a handful of reasons for this, and out of respect for Brooke and his privacy, right now I'm just not comfortable sharing a lot of the reasons for multiple reasons. First, I'm still trying to process them and make sense of them, and I would like to do that with my closest friends and family without hearing an influx of people's opinions on the situation. And I really don't want people to have any opinions about Brooke. I want to try to protect him as much as possible because I know it's probably really crappy to have a spouse who shares her life online during a season like this. But at the same time, I'm really nervous about not sharing details about this because I think personally the most dangerous thing about the internet is it's human nature to try to figure out why. It's human nature for us to collect pieces of information and create our own story and create assumptions. And assumptions are honestly the most hurtful thing. So maybe down the line, once I've healed a little bit more, I could explain more of the full situation. But right now, I just ask of you to please not create any assumptions as to what might have happened. I will say that though I'm heartbroken and devastated, there's so much mutual love and respect between Brooke and I. So I just ask that you please respect his privacy and please be mindful as to comments or guesses or honestly assumptions that you might have. It's been disheartening to see that even before I've said anything, I've been aware of people's comments, and Brooke has been aware of way more people requesting to follow him and view his stories. And I know it's human nature, like I said, when you're traveling one way on a highway and there's an accident on the other side, everybody stops because they want to look and they want to see what's happening, even if it's holding up all these other people and it's not productive at all. It's just human nature, and so I understand that that's going to happen, but this has been really hard. And I just ask that you don't make it harder. That's all I ask. I feel like I have so much I want to say and I don't even know how to say it or what order to say it in. I guess I have a lot of fears of making this public because I've never grieved before. And I'm worried that people are going to say I'm grieving correctly or incorrectly. It's very odd how grief isn't linear and how I can have good days and then I can have days that I just can't function. I threw up the other day. I did not know that was possible to do from emotion. I think I'm internalizing a lot more grief than I realized. And I had a really stupid thought that I know that I've mentioned Q4, November, December are the busiest months in this job. And back in the beginning of the year, I've signed contracts for vlogs. And just the idea of vlogging during these next couple months, I don't know, it feels too vulnerable. And so my stupid thought was maybe I could try to delay this till January. Like maybe I can just try to put a band-aid on this and make everything okay until January when I could take some time off to figure out all of my personal stuff. But at the end of the day, we don't really have control over the timeline that life has for us. So I'm going to try to be okay with sharing this process and sharing the next few months. And I think the next few months are going to be really hard and really messy, and there's going to be a lot of changes. But I'm just going to show up, and this is me asking permission to show up as I am. If some days that's me optimistic, and if some days it's me devastated, because the last few months I wake up in the morning and I'm like, well, which me am I going to be today? I really don't know. And I've been able to have good days and power through filming multiple videos because I didn't want to share yet, and I didn't want to show this sadness. But now that it's public and now that changes are going to be happening, I have to show up as I am. So I ask that of you, if I could do that, and if you could be understanding that I'm trying my best to focus on joyful things. That's honestly my coping mechanism. I've always been a silver lining kind of gal, and that's been what's getting me through this. And some days it works really well, and other days I just sit in a dark cloud, in a puddle of sadness and grief. Another something interesting that I wasn't aware of, you know how, like, for example, when you have a wedding, you're not necessarily aware of the difficult things of hosting a wedding or being a bride until you are one. There's something that I didn't realize about this situation where it's very odd that I feel personally responsible for telling all of my loved ones and giving them the respect of having that conversation face to face before this is public, since this does have to become public eventually, because y'all are going to ask, like, where's Brooke? Why are you moving? What is happening? So there's a timeline that this has to happen, and I feel like I have to have these conversations with all the loved ones in my life before this goes live, which is a weird situation to be in when you're the one that's just emotionally wrecked and stressed beyond belief and trying to figure out your own life. But I feel like I don't have the capacity to think about that because I'm too worried about being respectful of everyone else in my life and telling them what's going on. And I told my mom it feels like I've been hit by a car and I'm looking at everybody driving by, and instead of worrying about me, I'm making sure that everybody driving by is okay, which is a very odd situation. And I've never lost a loved one, you know, I've never lost a family member, which is very odd for being 24. But I would assume that type of grief, you can at least know that the people around you are sympathetic. But this type of grief, people around you don't know the full story. So they will have their own opinions on if you're doing the right thing or if you're doing the wrong thing. And it's just this weird, complex layer to not feeling like you can fully open up and share what's going on, because you don't know if people are going to be sympathetic or if people are going to make things worse. And that's been weird. It's been really odd. I don't know if this sounds bad to say out loud, but I really thought I would be the last person to get a divorce. I really did. I thought if I'm just hyper-focused on being a good wife and trying to be a good person, trying to be loving, then things will work out. And I think it's just crummy to realize that you don't really have control over that, you know? One of the silver linings... God, I'm a mess, I'm sorry. Gotta take a breath. One of the silver linings that I'm holding on to is I personally don't know anybody else that's not even halfway through their 20s and is going through a divorce. And I especially don't know anybody in the church that's going through that, because, you know, I have certain beliefs about divorce too that's very conflicting for me from a Christian point of view. And going through this so young and as a Christian can feel very isolating and very shameful. No matter if I feel like it's my choice or not, I still feel a lot of shame. And I'm hoping I know for a fact that there's other people going through this, other people like me that are young and that have their own beliefs about divorce and have their own relationship with Jesus that might just feel also isolated and also shameful. And if anything, I'm hopeful that I can be someone online that can walk through this with other people in similar scenarios and show that you can still love Jesus and go through something like this and hopefully be okay. God, I hope I'll be okay. So that's kind of the thing I'm holding on to. I know there's just been a couple people way older than me, you know, in their 40s, 50s, married for a long time, that have opened up and said, I actually went through a divorce around your age. And it's really hopeful to see them now with a long marriage, very happy, and know that they went through something like this and they ended up being okay. I haven't yet talked to someone my age, but like I said, that's something I'm holding on to hope that I can be online if I have to share this. Hopefully good will come out of it. I feel like there's like 5 million things in my brain that I wanted to say. I will share more about moving and what my plans are once they're more finalized. Like I said, I basically have no choice but to share them in vlogs, so you'll be finding out a lot more then. I am moving. I went to Texas for a while to give Brooke some space and to, you know, really have time to process all this stuff. And I've been back in California for a few days, packing up the house, and I'm 2 days away, at least, from filming this. I don't know when this video is going to come out. I'll probably release this the last possible minute, but I'm 2 days away from starting my drive with my belongings in my car. And I'll share more of that when I'm there, when things are finalized. I know a question I'll probably get a lot is, what about Max? And God, I wish we could clone Max and each keep Max. And that was a really hard thing. We both obviously want Max, but we both were telling each other we would like each other to have Max, because to have a companion during this really painful process is something really important. But after we sat down and talked through all the logistics, we came to the conclusion that Brooke is stepping into a new position at his job, and he'll be at a lot of practices, and he's now doing both Lakers and Dodgers, and his office is moving into a new office in December, and he'll be there every day, and I'll be working from home. So just that fact alone, Max doesn't like to be alone. So that fact alone, we determined that Max would probably get more care and attention with someone with my career than with his current career. So Max will be coming with me, which part of me is very thankful to get to have him during this process, and part of me is very sad that Brooke doesn't get to. I'm so glad we don't have kids. I can't imagine how hard that would be. If it's even that hard just with our dog, you know? So I think that's everything I wanted to share for now. I just ask of you, please be kind. Please be kind. Please don't come to any conclusions or assumptions about what's happened. Brooke really is my best friend. He really is my best friend. I really hope I don't lose that, but I want to protect him. I hold nothing against him. This is just an unfortunate situation that we found ourselves in, and it required a lot of honesty to make this decision. It's just sad. It's just sad. It's really sad. So please be kind. Please, please, please. If I see anything mean about Brooke, for his sake, I will delete and block whoever I need to, because I don't want to make this process any harder. It's already been too hard. So please be kind. Thank you for being here. I'm sorry in advance if the next few months are really messy. I have no idea where I'll be, what I'll be like, what my life will look like, but I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that I'll be able to heal and that I'll have good days ahead. I know that there's going to be endless bad days, but I'm going to cling to the good moments, and I'm going to really try to focus on things that bring me joy and healing. So that's what's to come. I love y'all. I'm sure as soon as I click the off button, I'm going to think of 27 more things that I wanted to say, but like I said, I'll share more as I feel comfortable and as I feel like I'm healing and as there's more distance and time and space and as I feel it's appropriate to share. But right now I'm still processing and I'm sharing this sooner than I wanted to, but it just comes with the territory. I'll see y'all in a video very soon. I'm going to be vlogging my drive back. I don't know if I'm going to vlog 30 seconds of it because I'll probably be a wreck or if I'm going to share more, but I'm going to try to focus on happy moments and my mom's actually going to be with me for a lot of it. So we're going to try our best.